even Jesus on the cross or the tomb, it can be painted in a children's Sunday school flannel graph way. Do you know what I mean? It's not a vacation Bible school story, right? This happened.
Rewrite. New life, new beginnings.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Unthank. Welcome to another edition of the Rewrite Podcast. Joined today by composer and artist and producer Tommee Profitt. Dude, this is an amazing backdrop that I have the privilege of seeing you in. What in the world?
Oh man, yeah. I kind of went. I wanted to create a dark cave for myself to sit in all day to make these projects. So I don't really get out and see the sun very much. So I had to make it fun. I had to make it fun in here if I'm going to be here all day, right?
I love that. Black cat. I mean, okay, we're vibing here. Come on,
we're on the same page.
That's cool, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself for those that are tuning in. They're like, Tommee Profitt. This dude he's got some cool stuff going on in the background here. Producer, artist. I mean, all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then you've got some really cool projects.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's wild. I've had the incredible privilege of being able to make a lot of cinematic music in my career, like for movies and TV shows and video games and trailers, like big epic cinematic music. It's my favorite thing. Always has been my favorite thing to listen to ever since I was a kid. And now I get to make it. And it's just, it's a blast. And I love it so much. And so, I released a lot of projects, but I did a cinematic Christmas album years ago called The Birth of a King.
Yeah.
And I always felt like that was just half the story. And then that, brings us to this past year. I had this idea to do the other half of the story and call it The Resurrection of a King and just bring a big cinematic movie weight to that story, and I've never been more inspired making music in my entire life.
So a couple of years ago, I was able to head to Nashville and see the live production of Birth of a King.
Oh, very cool.
They're at the in Nashville, and it was like, whoa, wow, this is amazing. What's that like when you got the orchestra and the 100-voice choir, and then all of it put together?
Oh, it's just a dream, man. Like I sit in this dark room all day, right? And so it's a jarring change to go out and then hear a big, huge orchestra playing these things that I've come up with on my keyboard here, and hearing this choir sing these songs and all these artists one by one come out every song, right? And just belting with their incredible voices. Like, it's just really powerful. And I think it's emotional for me personally, just to see it come to life, and the fact that people come to hear it. Like, it's just unreal, man. Like, it's something I'll never get over.
And then and it comes from just that experience you've had with the Lord, as well as just like, man, those gifts and talents. When it comes to music, you've been captivated by music for as long as you've lived, pretty much, it seems.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I mean, my parents bought me a small keyboard when I was little, and literally that day, I've been hooked ever since. Like, they're like, man, we can't get him off. Stop playing the keyboard. Can't like, I was in my bedroom just playing the piano all day long. I just couldn't get enough of it. I've
That's
just always
awesome.
done that. Always been that way.
How does your faith impact what you create?
Oh man, it's everything.
Yeah.
To me. I mean, it impacts the stuff I do, even if it's not for a Christian project, right? Even if it's for a movie, it's in everything I do. But, a lot of people don't know this. I used to be a worship leader, and I wrote worship music and led worship and did that for so long. And then my job changed to making movie music. And, now it feels so special and hand curated by God himself to orchestrate that story of worship leading for 10 years, then making cinematic music for 10 years. And now, full circle, we're going to put those two things together and make something unique that I had to go through both of those individual seasons to pick up everything along the way in order to do it and make this
cool?
unique. Yeah, it's crazy to look back and just see that God was working that whole time, even when you didn't know what it was working towards. There was a plan there, and it's just wild. It's awesome.
So, telling the story of Birth of a King, when did that originally come out? How many years ago?
That came out in 2020. 6 years ago.
2020. Okay. I remember seeing that delivered here to the radio station, and I was like, all right, what's this? And it was like perfect timing for Christmas, you know. Then you're able to see that live production. It's become a Christmas tradition for many people.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so. I mean, I met a lot of people the other night that said we've been to every single year since 2022 is the year we started the live show, and they've been every year. And they're like, "And we have tickets to this year, and we're coming back, and it's our family tradition. Every year we
Wow.
bring more people." It's just, I mean, it's such an honor that I mean, people travel from all over the world for this one thing, and it's cool, man. Because I had a friend say, when Jesus was born, people traveled to one destination to celebrate his birth. He goes, "This is kind of a cool picture of that same thing happening. Everyone traveling to gather to celebrate this birth. Like that's why we're all here." And it's just that's a really cool thing to be a part of.
So now 2026, resurrection of a king. Like you're saying, it just brings the whole story together. You've got the birth of a
Yeah.
king, and now you've got the sacrifice of Jesus and his resurrection on display. Tell us a little bit about the album, because you've got some really cool artists that are a part of this as well.
Man, and it was so fun. As soon as I realized what the songs were going to be, that was the big hang up for me. The Christmas album was old Christmas hymns, like the carols, the traditional carols from hundred years ago. And so I don't know why I didn't see it at first, but it finally unlocked where I was like, oh, that in order for the resurrection of a king to feel like a sequel and a counterpart, it has to be hymns, old hymns about the cross and the blood. And there's so many of those, more than Christmas hymns, you know what I mean? So I made the list of titles that I wanted to do first, and I had no names attached to them. And I didn't even know what I was going to do with each one, right? Some of them I kept pretty intact, some of them I wildly flipped on their head, you know? Um, but as the song comes together and I start arranging and the track is built and I hear the direction, I think it just screams at me who should be on it, like which voice, which artist. It's a perfect pairing, like, oh, it'd be so amazing to have Phil Wickham on this, right? Or Jen Johnson on this, or CC Winans on this. And it just comes together that way. It's the song first and then the voice that perfectly would go on top of it.
I'm sure that experience of when you've got the choir and the orchestra, and then just the lyrics of those hymns surrounding just the pinnacle of our faith in Jesus,
Yeah.
all put together, and it's like, okay, this is a piece of heaven going on right now.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because when you go see a movie, there's a lot of music in that movie that sometimes people don't even necessarily pay attention to, but you feel something to the movie. It gives weight to the movie, right? And emotion to the movie. And I think that a lot of times with whether it's the nativity and manger scene or even Jesus on the cross or the tomb, it can be painted in a children's Sunday school flannel graph like way. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And just naturally. And I think that when we actually I think things like The Chosen and House of David, these new like very mature telling of these stories, it's like it brings it more to real life. I think that's super important for us to realize. It's not a vacation Bible school story, right? This happened. It should feel more like the Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
head.
yeah.
And so putting music to that was really powerful for me because I think I experienced it in more of a real way myself. And I always thought I thought along the way, I'm like, we give Spider-Man super epic music. Like, how much more should we give, like, to the moment the Son of God raised back to life and walks out of the tomb? Like that needs the most epic score of any other story, right? And so that was where my mind was at this entire time while I was working on the project.
Piggybacking on that, I mean, what was that moment like then? You're putting the score together for the resurrection. Like, all right, man, I'm all in on this. Here we go.
I mean, tears.
Yeah.
I was emotional, and unexpectedly the whole time. And I think the the birth of a king, there's a lot of mystery and dark. Like it feels like it's at night, and we hear about this Messiah who's come that we've heard about for years, right? It's like more of something coming, and this was more like him doing the thing that he came to do. And that moment, how do you make it feel triumphant and victorious? And in order to tell that story, to feel triumphant and victorious, I did a lot of like brass and a lot of organ, like pipe organ, and just like majestic sounding. It feels more um, in that. I think this one feels more in that space than Birth of a King.
Yeah,
You know.
that's awesome. That because I'm just imagining, being in that room or in that space where it's like like you're saying, the triumphant or the overcoming. It's just over the top.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in here with Iron Man in the corner, and I'm like crying with this powerful music playing through my speakers, and it's like adrenaline, and like I'm like losing my breath. I'm like, this is crazy. Like no one's up here experiencing this but me. But like I just felt like God was just very gracious in just downloading this project to me, man. Like I just felt like I got to hear it first,
Well,
and
and it came from it comes from your heart. I mean, it comes from
mm,
who you are and what he's done for you. So it's
yeah.
just you're offering back to him.
100%. Yes. It was the most wild process of making music I've ever had. It was also the most fun and inspiring, and yeah, I'm almost mourning the process being over because it was so special and so rich, and I do really believe it was a once in a lifetime like experience. Even as I go on and do more, that one will always stand out as something special.
So what's your prayer now that when it comes out, the public is able to listen to it and soak it in. What's your hope? What's your prayer behind it?
Man, I felt like I was asking God while I was making it, like, why did you ask me to make this? Why now? Why? Like, what is this for? What's it gonna be for? And man, I felt like he just said there's, for people that are close to him to be drawn even closer, but there's a lot of people who have strayed that he's going to draw back to him, he wants to draw back. And also people that have never found him that will, you know, find him through this. And that was humbling and emotional for me too, to hear like the fact that he can use us, dude, just through our everyday lives, what we do. It doesn't have to be a big scale movie or music. It could be just an interaction with a person at a gas station. The fact that he can use us at all is like so powerful, and we're just humbled and grateful. So I think that's my hope. That's my only hope. I felt like I was asked to make this, and I don't have an agenda to do it. I had other plans, like I said. I had other plans. God wanted to do this. It felt like a thing of obedience and like a calling to make it. And I'm just excited to see how he impacts people through it genuinely.
That's so good, man. That is so good. Well, we'll be praying for just lives to be touched with that, and just
Mm,
oh man, and then soaking it in this season as well as we head into Easter and
mm.
into the season of reflecting on Jesus' sacrifice and the resurrection and just all that goes with that as well.
I yeah, I hope that this album makes celebrating the resurrection more of a year-round thing than
Yes.
just one Sunday out of the year. I think that this isn't it's like Christmas music you listen to in December, right? This an Easter project wouldn't be, all right, let's pull it out and listen. Like this is like a response every day. And it people might find it in September, and it's still just as applicable as it is in March or April, you know what I mean? So it's a response to life and what he did for us.
Tommee Profitt, everybody, on the Rewrite Podcast. This is Rewrite, stories of new life in Jesus. I'm Jonathan Unthank. If you'd like to join a community of listeners who enjoy hearing the life stories of Christian music artists and influencers, then join the Rewrite text group by texting the word Rewrite. That's REWRITE to 81891. But more importantly, if you'd like to dig deeper into your own relationship with Jesus, you can begin that journey today by texting his name, Jesus, to 81891. God bless you. Join me next time for another episode of Rewrite.